Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, guys. This is Spartacus. I'm your host, Alvin George. With me, Salami Gideon.
Exactly, from Ghana. Yeah. Yeah, I'm Julius Kane from Rwanda. I'm Julius Kane from Rwanda.
Tabitha here from Nairobi, Kenya.
Right. So, guys, today we are at Flutter Forward, and today we're about to start our Flutter community event. So, we're going to talk about communities today, and with us here we have a community hero in Africa, Tabitha Kavyu. So, like, she could at least give a brief background of how she started out in communities and how she's building communities so far.
Okay. Thank you so much for welcoming me here and to even talk about communities. Today being a community day. My journey is quite simple, and I think it's quite similar to many people, especially the people that are quite familiar with Google community programs. When I was back in the University of Nairobi, I was a Google Developer Students Club lead, what we called DSC back then. So before I was an attendee for some time, and then I loved seeing what was going on. And I think because generally as a person, I like, going for events and bringing people together or volunteering. So I started noticing and learning, okay, what happens and how do you even apply to become a member, or a leader of the GDSC program. And I think when I was in my second year or so, I applied. I didn't think I would get in because I felt like, oh, I'm still in my first years of school and I'm not yet quite advanced in tech. But then I think what really gave me that opportunity was the fact that I showed that passion, like of giving back to the community and organizing people, organizing events. And yeah, I got in, and that's how I started my journey. So I think while I was doing my service as a GDSC lead, that's when I learned that there's this thing called community, there are these things called DevRel, and people do them as jobs. I was doing computer science in school, and I thought, okay, I mean, everybody expects you to finish school and you're going to be a software engineer. I also thought the same. But, during that time, I was, interacting with community people, and I was like, oh my God, we have these jobs. We have people that actually get paid, to bring people together, to bring that sense of community. And I was like, I think this is where I want to go because this is where my strength is. Not that I don't like coding, but at the end of the day, you need to do what you are passionate about, what works for you, like naturally. And that for me was community. So once I was done, I started volunteering for GDG Nairobi, Google Developer Groups, which are now city-based communities by the Google Devs community. And after that, I started working now professionally as a community manager. I didn't see that coming as early as now. I thought that this is something I would do later on after doing some bit of software engineering professionally and then maybe advance to that DevRel side of things. But then, the opportunity came up early for me to be, to practice community as a profession. And I think that's when I decided to focus my life and my skills and everything towards building a career in community. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Very
Um,
fine.
yeah, amazing. So, like, apart from your mentions GDSE, well, fact is that we are both GDSE leads right now. So, you kind of climbing the ladder through.
Yes.
So, GDSE, GDG, are there the communities that you have led or impacted?
Um, well, in terms of leading, I've been in the Oscar chapter open source community in Nairobi. I've been leading it with Velda. I mean, she's been doing amazing in the community, so I've been contributing towards the activities we do there. Um, well, I'd say women tech makers as well. I mean, all of them are under the Google umbrella, so women tech makers. What else? I feel like I just kept on, if there's an opportunity for me to contribute here, I will in one way or another, either as a volunteer or as a speaker or one thing. So I'll say that I've tried to immerse myself in different types of community, but those are the major ones that I can say I could think of. And yeah, also the crowdsource community, Google crowdsource community
Oh,
in
amazing.
Kenya, which is now like something that I'm particularly very, proud of. Yeah.
Awesome. And so, apart from community management, you did computer science in high school, or in campus. Um, do you only take part in community stuff, or is there something technical you do, like let's say coding or stuff?
Well, I mean, I was learning computer science for 4 years, and immediately I finished school. That's when the opportunity for me to get into community came in, and I thought, I mean, like everyone also thinks that, oh, maybe I'll try and do both.
Yeah.
But one thing I say is that I didn't put myself in that pressure of wanting to do everything, because I mean community work is not easy. Let me start.
Yeah.
Maybe one time we'll talk about this thing, but it's not really that easy as you think. So before you know it, days have gone by. You've not even had time for your personal learning. I mean, I don't even have time. I don't even know the last time I opened VS Code, and I just got used to it. I just accepted that this is my new way of life, and that is fine. Would I want to go back? I mean, I was particularly interested in front end, so I learned JavaScript. I love JavaScript, React. But then it's been a long time since I interacted with these things, and maybe I've forgotten, maybe I've not. But then I don't practice them in my work.
Okay.
So it's very normal for me to lose that sense of touch. But I mean, technically, I've always said if I'm to find time and go back, I want to go deeper into the machine learning side of things. I mean, for the guys that are in the crowdsource community, you'll know why the inspiration
Yeah.
comes from there. So I want
Yeah.
to go deeper into the machine learning side of things, and maybe I'll find more time this year to go that route.
Yes, yes. So for me, I'm also now in the ecosystem. I'm a GDC lead from Ghana. Yeah, so I've been doing some stuff like kind of handling my community, my small community there, and it's been great. Sometimes it's a bit stressing. So I imagine like your responsibilities, like even the local ones, like they are struggling. Sometimes like everyone wants to bring their problems to you, like because you are the lead. So yeah, so I'm imagining how we're also bringing our problems to you, like community manager. And so your story is very inspiring, and probably I would kind of follow that path in a way. But I'm more into technical stuff, like building it. Yeah, yeah. How about you, bro?
For me, I like her really. I'm studying computer science also,
Okay.
and I've not really been into this stuff of community, but there's some natural traits of leadership that I've been observing. So I got exposed to the whole Google community ecosystem through Christian Emility from Nigeria when I was back in Liberia, and he introduced me to Google developer groups. And then I joined that group, even though there was nothing, like it was like 0.01% of what community should be. And but I was just there. I was just there. So when I traveled to Rwanda and I started my study, I said, okay, I was in GDD, Liberia, Monrovia. Let me join GDD Kigali. And then I reached out. And then I got to know the lead, sent an email, and I joined the community. I just sent anyone email I could send. And unfortunately, in that group, I saw that Joshua, who is the lead, he posted in the group that there was a need for GDSC leads, and the application is starting. I said, okay, let's see what this has. And I checked up, went through it. I thought it was so easy, but it was kind of stressing. And it made me to do a video recording, which I was not comfortable doing at all. But at the end of the day, I got an opportunity. And since then, I think it's something I really love to do, because I see the guys coming always around, they want to help you. Yeah, they need help from you. They're always asking you how things are going. They need guidance. And whenever I help someone get something done, and I see that smile, actually it makes me feel good. So that's why I just start going with any community I can see. And that's how I got it. I saw that there was a need also for councils.
Yeah.
And then I jumped into it. I met my boss, and, and then she knows I stress over emails. I stress with emails. So, but the community thing is really cool and something I'm getting more passionate about, because I'm seeing the way East African community is really growing, and I'm obsessed with Kenya and Nigeria for real. That's why even on this evening, I'm really talking with any Kenya, someone who's from Kenya and Nigeria, and see how their community is going. Because after all, I owe it back to my community.
Great, great. How are you, bro?
Community.
Yeah.
Okay, just as Tabitha said, community management is not easy. Well, I'm not a community manager myself. I'm a GDC lead, which is a community in itself, right? Yeah, but it's really, really hard. Or managing people is tiresome. Mostly the core team. Yeah, but at times it comes with the vision and the purpose. You look at the end goal. What do you want to achieve? So like that's what keeps us moving, right? Cause like you're like if you untie the knot a bit, you will fall, and your vision and all your dreams will crumble with it. And that's not something we all want. We want to keep our vision stronger so that you can push on more and more, right? So Tabitha, you've mentioned that community management is not easy, and you finding time to do some personal stuff is not easy as well, right? So what really do you do as a community manager? What is the typical day in the life of Tabitha Kavyu?
Wow. Okay. Interesting. So I don't know how to answer this question. But anyway, I'll start off by saying community management is different. It depends with every community. It also depends with every organization. If you're working for an organization specifically, and I mean, I will talk maybe I'll try and talk about two experiences. You know, like my two community management experiences. Like you said, even you as a
Yeah.
GDSC lead, you're a community manager because you're managing your people, you're leading them, and that's the
Yeah.
whole concept. So when I look at my first experience, like my first actually community, I mean, my first experience of course was GDSC, but then when I look at my first professional experience with the All School Africa, managing the All School community, I mean, it's so me every day waking up to maybe attending or supporting students. If you have any issue, like the person that they are going to reach out to is you, the go-to person, you understand? And also because they are learners, I mean, the All School Africa is a school for people to learn skills. We have a school of software engineering, product data, and all those stuff. So because these people are learners, and the whole goal is to create a community where everybody's comfortable with sharing. These people are from different parts of the world. So as a community manager, you want to make sure that first of all everybody feels safe, and then you are motivating them to learn, because sometimes software engineering also is not easy.
No,
If it's
yeah.
not in you, it's not in you. So there are people that there's one thing that I learned is that you may think that encouraging people is just a very cliche thing, or everyone is like perspire to aspire, like you are just trying to give us a motivational word. But one thing I learned is that people actually value these things. Sometimes when you send that message of encouragement, it really goes a long way for someone, and that to me is my fulfillment as a community manager, when I feel like somebody was really impacted by something I told them. Maybe they were about to give up, and now maybe they're not giving up, or maybe they had this challenge and now they have another way of looking at it.
Yeah.
So that is it, like providing support, encouraging people, because the whole idea of community, I mean, something Sadiq, your manager, wrote, it's bringing people together, creating a sense of community, making people feel like they belong. So there are things that you really cannot measure and say this is what I do,
Yeah.
because what you do might be different from what I do. Because as long as you understand what your community people need, and then like how can I better serve them, because you're their person. And then when I look at my other experience now, because I told you they are different, it involves different things. So now, like as a community coordinator, I mean, looking at crowdsource,
Yeah.
like when I started off, like I really wanted to build a crowdsource community in Kenya, and I felt like I was like the only person. Maybe I was not the only person, but I felt like I was the only person that knew about it, and I was contributing. I was looking at the leaderboard and not many people, and I was like, I created a WhatsApp group, people joined and everything. I wrote articles, and I think that's part of it, trying to educate people in one way or another. I wrote articles, sometimes I'll do like a Twitter thread. And then, I mean, things were fine, but sometimes there's something when you get people to come together, but if you don't find ways to engage your community members, things may just come to a standstill, and people stop seeing the value of why you even brought them together. So I think the main thing about community is making sure that let people see value. So if you're a GDSC, if you want people to keep coming to events, are they seeing the value? Like, tell them when you come for this event, by the end of the day, you'll either get skills in front-end development, or you know how to build a website, something cool. Not just people thinking that, okay, I don't need to attend that thing. But when people see the value of why they're in this community, maybe if I'm in this community, there are resources that someone is sharing, something that I can learn. So I think that's one important lesson all of us need to learn. And even when you continue managing your communities, make sure that you're bringing value. Let them see the importance of why we are even doing this, Because there are people that may just be relaxed and feel like, maybe this is not even important to me. I know, like, we're having a conversation with you and you're like, these people really don't see the need for this thing and things like that. But let them see this is how you're going to benefit at the end of the day, you understand? And some of this community, well, nobody's paying you to encourage somebody, you understand? You know what I mean? Nobody's paying you to do all these things, so it's just you going out of your way. But I think one thing is common about us is also that sense of helping people. We find that, for me, even when the work is a lot for me sometimes, but I find joy in knowing that maybe so and so has been impacted in one or another. That is where I get my fulfillment from. So the other, like I was trying to show you my other experience, like coordinating people to also build community. I know I was reading something somewhere where a good trait of a community manager is if you are able to have mini versions of you. Like, you're not the only big person, everybody's looking up to you. But at the end of the day, do you still have people that can also do the same thing that you are doing in different ways? In that way, we are all contributing to creating impact. You understand? So, like for instance, like you guys, you have core team members. You understand?
Yeah.
So, are these core team members also able to take up the responsibility of a lead even when you are away? Do you understand? And for me, even when I'm not in the picture, are you guys still able to lead your communities and bring people together? So that's it, just bringing people together so that they can also create that impact, empowering people. I think one thing in common is just that encouraging people, empowering people to better serve other people. And yeah, I think I've talked too much. Let me stop.
I think whatever she said, like, it's very
That's a hectic
insightful,
day.
and I would apply this. Yeah, I would apply it since I'm also a lead.
Yeah.
Probably grow my community as well, and learn from this amazing trees. Yeah.
But okay, Tabitha, whenever we see you, like let's say on you holding these community events and activities, and people like saying your name out loud, the reason why you're known right much, it all looks like all this to you is just easy and it's not stressful. Honestly speaking, this is a free space right here.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like banging your head against the wall sometimes? Does it get too much to you?
The community work or the fact that many people know me?
No, that people know you. The community work. Does it get overwhelming sometimes?
Oh my God! Yes, that's the reality of our lives. Oh my God!
Yeah.
It's always stress. I mean, there are good days, but there are days, and I feel like everybody feels this. Like maybe there are days when I have communicated something, and then someone will come and ask me the same question when they can clearly go and see where I typically said do A, B, C, and D, and I'm like, I'm going to be nice with you, but in my head I'm going to be like, did you see? So there's that, you're trying to fight two personalities among yourself. You're like, I want to, I want to do that, but okay, let's be nice. I mean, I did a post the other day where we're appreciating community managers, and like there's that whole perception of what everybody thinks you're doing, and people actually think that community management is easy. There are people think that, this one just wants an easy way out of code, they don't want to code. But I say managing people is an extreme sport because we have different types of people, and not everybody thinks the same way.
True.
Yeah. So there are those people in your community that they bring value, they are good, they attend your events, they do all those things, and there are those that have questions that are very, I feel like I'm tired of saying this like 50 times, So there are those days where I feel like I get angry. So what I do, I don't bang my head, of course. Sometimes I just talk. I don't talk to myself, and I'm always like, why are you, I feel like I'm talking to you now, so I assume you're there, and I'm like, why are you like this? Like, why are you asking me? Why did you do that? Didn't you? So that's what I do. But at the end of the day, when you look at the bigger picture, there are those moments that give you joy, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not always that as simple as we may all make it look like. Yeah. But I feel like people see it that way because that is what they want to see. But you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's that whole dealing of you do an event, not many people show up.
True.
Or you send a message, people are not responding. You're really going out of your way, you understand? Like,
the coaching.
Like all of you, everybody has their lives. You have our studies to do, we have what to do, and then you're really taking out time you want to care for these people, you want to send a message, you want to share resources. Either you send something, people don't apply, or you share something, people don't even react to it, and you start feeling like these people, even some community members even make you feel like they're not even existing, you understand? And it can be very discouraging,
Very frustrating.
Yeah, but one thing I learned when I was a GDSC lead was, let's look at the impacts, and let's not chase numbers, because you might do events, for sure, there are days you'll do events and maybe like 2 or 3 people will come. But then if you're someone that is worried about these things, you may feel like I'm a failure. I can't really bring people together. I really wanted to do this event. So look at the impact. Even though 2 or 1 person comes for an event, please make sure that they don't go back the same way they came in. Let them get value from that event, you understand? And if they do that, and if they get a good experience, they will tell their friend the next time. Their friend will they'll become your own advocate or ambassadors at the end of the day. So I think impact is what really even motivates us as community managers, seeing that, okay, I did this, I helped so and so do A, B, C, and D, and
Okay, so
Awesome.
thank you so much, Tabitha, for this insightful tips. Yeah, so what would be your last words for GDCs, all over Africa and all that? Like, what would you tell them something small. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'd say like first of all, it's an amazing program. All of us can agree to it because I think from me to we get the opportunity to network with other people, and you feel like you're not alone. You know, you may feel like the struggles you go through in your school, you're the only person, and you realize that okay, people in Rwanda also face the same. Oh, people from Kenya are also going through the same thing. You know, so that brings you guys together, and you get to network and learn ideas. And I feel like I'm not bragging, but if you look at some of us that have been in the program before and we are doing well for ourselves, and I feel like many people, like some of us, are really owe a lot to being part of the GDSC program. So if you really take advantage of being a lead, people get opportunity to become leads and they just don't do anything about it. You know, like it's a huge opportunity, yeah, yeah. So I'd say take advantage of that opportunity that you're a lead, learn as much as you're building your community. Please also make sure that you are growing yourself. You understand? Because it's one thing to be known for something that you can do and being known, and then there's really nothing to show off. Like who are you, Alvin? Like if we remove this title, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I'd say, in as much as we are building our communities, let's continue doing that, but also don't forget to build yourself. Learn. If you're sometimes if you're doing a session for your members, if you can, you can go through that workshop a day before or weeks before, or try. It's going to be hard because I know during the event you really can't concentrate, you know, because you're trying to do every C and D. But try as much as possible to learn, network, take advantage of the opportunities, because you might get your internship or your job from your friend from Rwanda or from your friend in Kenya, things like that. So leverage on that opportunity to learn, to grow, and always ask people questions. I feel like once you have the skills, it is very easy for you to get opportunities. And I think even being a community lead is like an advantage for you. You understand? And then one thing I like to say, please find your path. I think that goes back to building yourself. Find, in as much as you're a community lead or you're a GDSC, not everyone wants to be a community manager by profession. Maybe you want to be a software engineer, maybe you want to be a machine learning person or something of the sort. So always have that in mind, and if you know that this is what you want to do, always work on becoming that machine learning engineer, becoming that front-end engineer, or becoming that back-end engineer, or that cloud person that you want to be. So learn your craft, be creative, that because the program will end after 1 year. And where are you going to go back to? So you need to have something. Let it not be too late, and then opportunities are going to start coming. People may be recommending you because they know that you're a part of a good program. So I say that it is better to be prepared. You know, have the skills that when the opportunity comes, you can take advantage of it. You know, not just joyriding, enjoying these events and things like that, and then there's really nothing. People that are in your community are even benefiting more than you are. So you see, you're also benefiting as well. And I think all of you are on your path to greatness if you really are intentional about your journeys and what you want to do. So you guys got this. If we did it, you guys can do it.
Yeah, true. Great, that's it, guys. We're going for another break. This is Platacast. We are Tabitha Kavyu. See you in a few.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Could we have a picture first before?
Oh yeah, picture, bro. A picture.
My God, I think I hope my meeting